Imagine this. You wake up tomorrow morning. You brush your teeth, you check your phone, you eat breakfast, you leave for work or college. You come back home, watch a few videos, scroll Instagram, reply to a few messages, go to sleep. Now tell me, what was different about today? Probably nothing. Now imagine repeating that exact same day for the next 10 years. Scary, isn't it? Not because your life is bad, but because most people spend their entire lives running on autopilot. Wake up, work, scroll, sleep, repeat. And the saddest part, they never stop to ask one simple question. Why? Why am I doing this? Why am I here? Why am I spending my time on this? Because the truth is, the quality of your life is determined by the quality of the questions you ask yourself. And if there's one question that can completely change your future, it's this one. Why? Not once, not twice. Ask it every single day. Every single decision, every single habit, every single hour. Because the moment you stop asking why, you stop living consciously. You start living automatically. And automatic living creates average lives. When you were a child, you questioned everything. Why is the sky blue? Why do birds fly? Why can't I touch fire? Why do stars shine? Children learn because they ask questions. Adults stop growing because they stop asking them. Somewhere between childhood and adulthood, we replace curiosity with routine. Instead of questioning life, we simply follow it. School told us what to study. Society told us what success looks like. Social media told us what happiness should look like. And without realizing it, we accepted someone else's definition of a good life. Not because we agreed with it, but because everyone else seemed to agree. Think about it. How many things in your life did you actually choose? And how many did you simply inherit? The clothes you wear, the career you're chasing, the people you spend time with, even your daily habits. Did you choose them, or did life quietly choose them for you? Here's something fascinating about the human brain. Your brain loves patterns. It loves routines, because routines save energy. Imagine if every morning you had to relearn how to brush your teeth or how to walk. Your brain would be exhausted. So it creates automatic behaviors. That's useful until those automatic behaviors start controlling your entire life. One day, you download Instagram just to stay connected with friends. A few months later, you unlock your phone without even realizing you've picked it up. You didn't make that decision consciously. Your brain did. Habit took over. Autopilot took over. And slowly, your time stopped belonging to you. It belonged to your habits. Now let me ask you something. When was the last time you opened YouTube only to watch one video and actually watched just one? Exactly. You tell yourself, I'm just taking a 5-minute break. Then YouTube recommends another video. Instagram shows another reel. Someone sends another meme. Another notification appears. And suddenly, 45 minutes disappear. Where did they go? You don't even remember, because you weren't making decisions anymore. Algorithms were making them for you. Now here's the interesting part. I'm not saying YouTube is bad. I'm not saying Instagram is bad. The question isn't, is this app good or bad? The real question is, why are you opening it? Are you opening YouTube because you're learning a skill that will improve your future? Or because you're trying to escape the work sitting right in front of you? Are you scrolling Instagram because you're talking to someone important? Or because your mind is desperately looking for another hit of entertainment? The action is the same, opening an app. But the reason behind it changes everything. And that's exactly how life works. The same action can build your future or quietly steal it. The difference is one question. Why?
Let's make this personal. Imagine it's Sunday evening. You sit down to study. Your notebook is open. Tomorrow is your exam. You tell yourself, tonight I'm going to study seriously. 10 minutes later, your phone vibrates. Without thinking, you pick it up. One notification becomes another, then a reel, then another. Before you realize it, an hour is gone. Your books are still open, but your mind has already left the room. Now, don't ask, why did I get distracted? Ask something deeper. Why did I pick up my phone in the first place? Was it really important, or were you trying to escape something difficult? Because here's the truth. Distractions don't begin on your phone. They begin in your mind. Your brain naturally avoids discomfort. Studying is hard. Building a business is hard. Going to the gym is hard. But scrolling? That's effortless. And your brain loves effortless things. Not because you're weak, but because it's designed to save energy, unless you interrupt it with one simple question. Why am I doing this right now? That question pulls you out of autopilot. It makes you conscious again. Now imagine you're at the gym. Everyone is recording videos, taking mirror selfies, posting workout stories. Without realizing it, you start doing the same. But stop and ask yourself, why? Are you here to become stronger or to impress people online? There's nothing wrong with sharing your progress, but never forget why you started. Because the moment your purpose changes, your results begin to change too. The same thing happens in careers. Someone says, I want to become a software engineer. Great, but why? Because it pays well, okay, but do you actually enjoy solving problems? Or are you just following the crowd? Because following the crowd feels safe until you realize you've climbed the wrong mountain. Imagine spending 10 years succeeding at a life you never truly wanted. That is one of the biggest mistakes anyone can make. The same thing happens in relationships. Sometimes we stay, not because we're happy, but because we're afraid to let go. Again, ask yourself, why am I holding on? Every meaningful change starts with awareness, and awareness begins the moment you stop reacting and start questioning. Because every time you ask, why am I doing this? You take back control of your habits, your choices, and ultimately, your life. There's a simple habit that successful people have. Whenever something feels important, they don't stop at the first answer. They keep asking, why? I want to make a lot of money. Why? So I can buy a big house. Why? So my family feels secure. Why? Because growing up, we never had financial stability. Now you've reached the real reason. It was never about the house. It was about security. Most people chase the goal. Very few understand the reason behind it. And once your why becomes clear, distractions lose their power. This idea became popular because of Simon Sinek. People don't connect with what you do. They connect with why you do it. The same is true for your life. If your why is weak, your discipline will be weak. If your why is strong, your decisions become easier. Imagine someone invites you to a party. If your goal is simply, I want good grades, you'll probably go. But if your reason is, I want to become a doctor so my parents never have to worry about money again, suddenly, that party doesn't feel as important. A strong why makes saying no much easier. Warren Buffett once said, really successful people say no to almost everything. Think about it. Every yes is also a no. When you say yes to endless scrolling, you're saying no to learning. When you say yes to procrastination, you're saying no to your future. Your life isn't built by one big decision. It's built by the small choices you make every single day. And every choice deserves one question. Why? Now let's talk about comparison. Someone buys a new car, now you want one. Someone starts a business, now you want to start one too. But stop and ask yourself, do I actually want this? Or do I simply want what someone else has? Social media has made comparison feel normal. Every day you see people's best moments, but never their struggles, their failures, or their sacrifices. You're comparing your real life to someone else's highlights, and that's a game you'll never win. Steve Jobs once said, your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Because the moment you stop asking why, you slowly become a copy of everyone else. Before you open an app, before you say yes, before you spend another hour, pause for just 5 seconds and ask yourself, why am I doing this? That one question can save years of your life.
Now let me tell you something. Your life doesn't change because of one big decision. It changes because of hundreds of small ones. Every morning, every time you unlock your phone, every time you say, I'll do it tomorrow, you're making a choice. The problem is, most of those choices aren't conscious. They're habits, they're reactions. And that's why so many people wake up years later asking, where did all the time go? The truth is, time never disappears. It gets traded. Every hour you spend on something is an hour you can never spend somewhere else. An hour of endless scrolling could have been an hour learning a skill. One night of procrastination could have become the first step toward a completely different life. Most people think success comes from doing more. It doesn't. It comes from doing the right things. And the only way to know what's right is to ask yourself, why? Why am I watching this? Why am I saying yes?
Why am I delaying the work I know I should be doing? Why am I chasing this goal? And maybe the most important question of all, if nobody was watching, would I still choose this life? Because that's where honesty begins. No audience, no likes, no pressure, just you and your answer. Maybe you'll realize you've been chasing someone else's dream. Maybe you'll realize you've been living on autopilot. But here's the good news. Awareness gives you a choice, and a choice gives you freedom. You don't need a new year. You don't need Monday. You don't need motivation. You just need one honest question. Because the moment you start questioning your actions, you stop reacting and start choosing. Every great life is built on intentional choices. So from today, before opening an app, ask why. Before saying yes, ask why. Before spending another hour, ask why. And if your answer brings you closer to the person you want to become, keep going. If it doesn't, have the courage to change direction. Remember, people who never question their lives live by default, but people who ask why live by design. So tomorrow morning, before the world tells you what to do, pause for just 5 seconds, look at yourself, and ask the one question that can change everything. Why? Because the quality of your future depends on the quality of the questions you ask yourself today. And before this video ends, ask yourself one last question. What is one thing I need to stop doing today? Your answer could be the beginning of a completely different life.